Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Urmi Amira binti Gandeman. This is Sarjan Afifah Huda binti Zafri. This is Amirul Rahim bin Ahmad, alias Sarah, Atika, and also Ahmad Ramadan. Okay, our group is going to present a study on students' interest in science and technology at SMK TROLAK. As you can see, we focus on science and technology because this topic, science and technology, is the mainstream nowadays. So since our country is in need for more development, so we need to immerse ourselves in science and technology. So we follow knowledge about it.
Are you lag?
This is our variables. Our independent variable is gender. Our dependent variables is student interest in science
You lag
and
ke?
technology.
You lag ke? I tak dengar presentation.
Oh, orang lain.
Okay. I think you lag lah. You ada kat mana
Can I
sekarang?
continue? Okay.
Okay, you can start. Alright.
Okay. Our problem statement is first the effect of students' interest of science and technology in education. Next, students nowadays lack in knowledge of science and technology. So often linked with the science and technology. That's why it moves to technology from research.
I think you lag lah.
Objective is
Ada semua agree ke dia lag? Ke I seorang yang lag?
Line slow je.
Siapa yang lag slow? Yang mana
Line
slow?
slow je, line slow.
Wait ah.
The research objective is to identify the relationship between gender and the interest in science and technology course. The second one is to determine the relationship between student interest towards science and technology and self-efficacy in SMK TROLAK. The third one is to find out the relationship between student interest towards science and technology and teaching method in SMK TROLAK. And the last objective is to find out the relationship between student interest towards science and technology and family context in SMK TROLAK. The research question is there any correlation between gender and the interest in science and technology? What is the relationship between student interest towards science and technology and self-efficacy? What is the relationship between student interest towards science and technology and teaching method? And the last question is what is the relationship between student interest towards science and technology and family context? The research hypothesis is there is a correlation difference between male and female student and their interest in science and technology. Page 2 is there is a relationship between self-efficacy and science and technology. The third one is there is a relationship between teaching method and science and technology in SMK TROLAK. And the fourth one is there is a relationship between family context and science and technology in SMK TROLAK. The literature review is self-efficacy. To recent findings that prove girls prefer arts and French over science and technology compared to boys. Learning environment can be differ for each student by their own characteristic. The teaching method is primarily through these methods that school exposes students to science and technology can consequently influence their interests. Interest towards science and technology is important as they are related to career and beyond the quality of learning, and it must be preoccupation for school, educational policy, and academic research in education. Family context is student expectation and psychological satisfaction not only obtained from school subjects, school or teacher skills in teaching subject, but socio-economic status of the family and other family dynamics, such as parental attitude and family support towards school subject also might affect the student performance and interest on science and technology. So next is our targeted population. So because this is more about science and technology, we more focus to place a rural place rather than urban, because urban is more exposed about science and technology. So our target population for this study is all students from SMK TROLAK, Perak, which is from Form 1 until Form 5, where the total population is 446. So our sample is from Form 1 and Form 4 until Form 4. So Form 1 is 30% from them. Form 2 is 24%. Form 3 is 28%, and Form 4 is 25%. So next is our sample design. So we take our sample is from Form 1 until Form 4 to complete the survey, which is 207 students. So to estimate our sample size, we use check market online sample calculator to generate the sample from the population. To choose our sample, we use SRS, which is simple random sampling, as our sampling method, and we randomly choose students from different forms to check out the survey. So our research design, we decide to use cross-sectional study because the data collected is to observe the family context, teaching method, and the self-efficacy towards students' interest in science and technology and SMK TROLAK. So our data collection method, we use questionnaire. So there are two sections, which is section A and section B. In section A, we have demographic profile, which we ask about the respondent name, gender, age, and in section B, the question, the respondents separate into three parts, which is part A, part B, and part C. So we use the Likert scale, where 1 is strongly disagree, 2 is disagree, 3 is neutral, 4 is agree, and 5 is strongly agree to measure the student interest in science and technology. So this is our questionnaire. So for part A, is mostly asked about the student general interest in science and technology. In part B, the method in science and technology. And part C is about the family context in science and technology.
So the result of the study, the p-value is 0.0001502. So the hypothesis testing, H0, there is no relationship between gender and their interest in science and technology. H1, there is a relationship between gender and their interest in science and technology. So test statistic, we take the p-value 0.001502, and the critical value is significant level. Critical value is 0.05. So decision rule, reject H0 if p-value is less than alpha level. Since p-value is 0.002 less than alpha 0.05, we reject H0. So the conclusion at alpha 0.05, we can conclude that there is a relationship in gender and their interest in science and technology. From this pie chart, we know that female are more interested in science and technology rather than male, since number of female higher than male. So to determine the relationship between students' interest in science and technology and self-efficacy in SMK TROLAK. So this is the result. Pearson product and whose product moment correlations. So hypothesis test of correlation. H0, there is no relationship between student interest in science and technology and self-efficiency. H1, there is relationship between student interest in science and technology and self-efficiency. Statistic p-value 0.00. 0.00002. Alpha 0.05. So reject H0 if p-value is less than alpha. Since p-value is 0.00002 less than alpha 0.05, we reject H0. So the conclusion, we can conclude that there is the relationship between student interest in science and technology and self-efficacy. So the correlation value is 0.7655432. We show that there is a moderate positive linear from the table 6 and 0.8166566 for every increasing mark in self-efficacy.
Okay, based on this histogram, this show the total mark of 5 questions in section A. Okay, for question 1, most of them is disagree with the question, which is 72% vote for disagree, and just 4% only agree with the statement. Okay, next for question 2. 90 students agree with the question, and 7% strongly disagree with the statement. For question 3, most of them choose agree with, and 11% choose for strongly disagree. For question 4, the 77% students choose for agree with the statement, and lastly, for question 5, half of them, 100 students choose for neutral, which is the half agree, half disagree. Okay, for the scatter plot and even, the total mark for the question 1 is 25. So there is no student that answer all 5 for part A. So the highest question, the highest that is 100 students choose neutral. Okay, for this case to plot, the highest mark is 22. So there is 6% answer 22 marks for question A.
Okay, for the number 2 result. Oh, objective 3, to determine the relationship between students' interest toward science and technology and teaching method in SMK TROLAK. Okay, so we name this test as data 16, which is correlation test between mark D and full mark. We use Pearson product moment correlation. Our T value is 15.584. Our degree of freedom is 205, and our P value is 0.000002. Okay, for alternative hypothesis is true correlation is not equal to 0. Our 95% confidence interval is 0.6669916 and 0.7931078. Our sample estimate correlation is equal to 0.736382. Okay, next, this is the hypothesis testing. Our rationale is there is no relationship between students' interest in science and technology and teaching method. Our rationale, H1, there is a relationship between student interest in science and technology and teaching method. For our test statistic is we use a p-value which is 0.00002 p-value. Next, test critical. Test critical, we use alpha equal to 0.05. Next, our decision rule. As usual, reject rationale if p-value less than a. Since p-value is less than a, which is equal to 0.00002, and alpha equal to 0.05, we reject rationale. So our conclusion is we can conclude that there is the relationship between students' interest in science and technology and teaching method. From the table above, the correlation estimated at 0, our 95% confidence interval is 0.7363882. Oh, I'm sorry. The correlation estimate at 0.736382 with a 95% confidence interval of 0.6669916 to 0.79311078, which means that there is positive relationship which is when the total mark of B increase, the total mark of all parts tend to increase also, which main factor of teaching method affect the interest in science and technology. Okay, this is our the correlation value is 0.736382, which shows that there is a moderate positive linear relationship between teaching method and students' interest in science and technology. From the table above, we are 95% confident that students' interest in science and technology increase between 0.6669916 and 0.79311078 for every increasing mark in teaching method.
Okay, for the second histogram, this explain about question part B. So for question 1 in part B, almost 59 students neutral with that question, which is they half prefer learning science in classroom using textbooks rather than doing experiment. Okay, for question 2 in part B, also 65 students choose neutral, which is their teacher inspire them to take science subject in as future. That means half of their teacher inspire them and half of them not inspire them to take science subject in future. Okay, for question 3 in part B, 73 students agree with the statement, which is their teacher give accurate example while teaching science and technology subject. Okay, for question 4 part B, 83 students agree in which is in science and technology class, they would like spend more time by listening to their teacher than give explanation about science and technology subject. Okay, lastly, for question 5 in part B, 80 students being neutral about their teacher give explanation about science subject that they do not study in their own. Like half of them search for further information about science and technology rather than just learn in class. Okay, for the scatter plot, they show one student answer all five question as 5 marks. One for solely disagree and 5 for solely agree. So one student to answer all solely disagree based on the scatter plot. Okay, next.
Okay, next. Our fourth objective, to determine the relationship between students' interests.
You ada berapa banyak result macam ni?
This is the last one.
Okay.
Okay. Next, our last is to determine the relationship between students' interest to science and technology and family context in SMK TROLAK. Okay, for our correlation coefficient test, this is between mark C and full mark. We name this data as data 17. We use Pearson's product moment correlation. Okay, for our t-value is 18.348. Our degree of freedom 205, and our p-value is 0.000002. Alternative hypothesis, true correlation is not equal to 0. Our 95% confidence interval is 0.7305447 to 0.8349749. Our sample estimate correlation equal to 0.7883735. Okay, this is our hypothesis testing. Our rationale is there is no relationship between students' interest in science and technology and family context. Our H1, there is a relationship between students' interest in science and technology and family context. (0.0002). Our test critical, we use alpha equal to 0.05. Decision rule, reject hash not if p-value is less than alpha. Since p-value is less than alpha, we reject hash null. So as the conclusion, we can conclude that there is the relationship between student interest in science and technology and family context. The correlation value is 0.7883735, which shows that there is a moderate positive linear relationship between family context and student interest in science and technology. From the table above, we are 95% confident that students' interest in science and technology increase between 0.7305447 and 0.8349749 for every increasing mark in family context.
Okay, lastly, for the last histogram is about part C, which is part C is about family context in science and technology. For question 1, 79 students disagree, which they always discuss about science and technology in their family. Okay, for second question, also disagree. 69% disagree with which their family forced them to attend science school. So most of from the student, their family not force them to attend science school. Okay, for third question, 82 students choose neutral, which is half of their family encourage them to take course science and technology in university. Okay, for the next question is 58 students also choose neutral about they receive permission to do science experiment at home. And lastly, 89 students choose neutral also about their family interest to know the result of science subject than literature subject. Okay, from the scatter diagram above, most of them answered between 10 and 15 marks overall as their total mark in part C. Okay, for conclusion, there are relationships shown within teaching methods, self-efficacy, and family context with student interest in science and technology. This shows that these factors affect the students' awareness and knowledge in science and technology. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. I think your presentation, your result, your study is good, right? But your result of analysis is very bad in terms of presentation, right? So let's look at your objective again.
Wait. This.
Right.
The objective.
So your objective is to identify relationship between gender and interest of science and technology. So you have one variable interest in science technology, and then the one is interest towards science benda yang sama lah, and self-efficacy. You ada dua variable, self-efficacy, and then
And
what else?
Teaching
method.
Teaching method,
For
right? And then
and
family context.
lastly, family context.
family context. So you have three variable kan? So can I
Yes.
see your questionnaire?
Can please. This answer.
So questionnaire, right? So this is interest in. No, I want to see your questionnaire.
Oh, wait. Wait. So, Mr.
That one.
Here.
So this is the interest in science and technology, right? So you have
yes.
five item. This is strongly disagree. You quote sebagai berapa? 1 or 5?
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
1 to 5. This is 1 till
Yeah.
5, right?
5.
So
Yes.
can you show me how you conclude this 5 item into one variable? Can you show me in your R Studio? I nak tengok macam mana you conclude this one to become one variable. How you come up with correlation analysis?
Okay. First, I code it for question 1. The total for who answer for the 1 to 5.
Can you show me your data set?
Project.
Mana dia, mana dia.
Jap.
Nak tekan ke viewer je.
Ya.
Mana?
Oh, wait, mana? Wait.
Wait, sir.
Wait, sir. Sorry.
Sorry, sir.
Double sheet.
You cari sekejap Okay. PAQ1 ni represent apa?
Part A, question 1.
Part A, question 1. So, question 1 is interest in science and technology, right?
Yeah.
So, you have basically 1 until 5.
5.
So, how you conclude this 1 until 5 to interest of science and technology? How do you do correlation analysis? I want to see how do you do correlation analysis for
Sorry, sir. Okay. We assign as total mark part A.
total mark? Where is the total mark?
This one, sir. Which is 59 for question 1.
Only.
Let me control your computer sekejap.
Oh, okay.
Right. So this one you input sebagai apa? Data 1 ke data apa ni? Apa nama data ni? Data set ni? Project.
Yes, project.
Gempak gila. Parah. Gempak gila. Coding untuk kita orang. Bukan kita orang buat. Sedangkan
Oops. Your internet so slow lah.
oh ya.
Assign as satu untuk buat kolom apa.
Ada kan interest? Oh ya. Dia tengok apa nak.
Yang kita boleh tak?
Setengah coding ke? Saya yang masuk gitu.
Cuma kita tak buat apa, coding. Kita tengok. Tak tahu, nak tengok.
Sepatutnya you kena tambah macam ni. Create satu lagi variable, nama dia interest. So to represent PAQ1, PAQ2 until PAQ5. So you tambah semualah PAQ1 until PAQ5. So baru you dapat dia punya total marks untuk interest. So the total marks ni sepatutnya you ada 5 variable kan. So satu variable ni ada 5 score, right? 1 until 5 kan. So the total for 5 ni sepatutnya maximum score should be 25, right? Betul? So 25 for each respondent kan?
For each respondent, yes.
Right. So the lowest mark is 5. Betul?
Yes.
So you menggunakan this one ataupun then baru ataupun you boleh convert this variable ni, interest ni sebagai percentage. You convert to percentage, 11 divided by 25 multiply with 100% the percentage, and then baru you buat correlation. So PBQ1 ni apa dia?
Part B question 1.
Apa dia, variable apa?
Teaching method.
Teaching method kan. Baru boleh conclude untuk teaching method pula. So every section tu you conclude lah, macam contoh yang this one. This is slide you kan. See, nampak dia part B ni kan. So this so you conclude semua ni lah.
Faham. Understand.
Baru you buat correlation, then your result now is wrong lah. And then and then your presentation ni I tak suka lah. You punya result presentation macam wait this one I nak dalam bentuk table macam ni. Faham tak? I tak nak tengok coding ni dekat bawah. I nak you interpret kat bawah. Macam ni pun I tak nak tengok. I tak nak tengok daripada starting hypothesis testing nanti conclusion ni. I just want to see your table. Hypothesis testing ni, statement ni you dah letak dekat table selepas objective and question research question kan? Hypothesis statement selepas research objective and research question. And then now what you need to do is to answer the hypothesis by analysis tu lah. Right. And then this is completely wrong lah you punya result ni semua. And then I tak nak you stop sebab you dah collect 400 lebih kan data you. Berapa?
207.
Berapa?
207.
Tujuh. Banyaklah. Semua ni kat SMK TROLAK.
Yeah.
So then you dah buat banyak work dekat situ. Kalau you buat analisis yang salah, then you rugilah. Right, buang masa dan buang duit. Right, so I want you to change. First you buat correlation analysis. You buat yang data macam tu dulu. Then you buat correlation analysis. And then you buat linear regression. I nak tengok.
Okay.
Multiple or simple, sir?
Semua lah.
Okay.
Okay, and then make a good conclusion. Where is your reference?
Kat word.
Kat word, sir.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, so tekan
So you need to show reference dalam presentation slide. So once next week you need to submit your presentation slide ni. Anak you buat correction and then put your reference semua dalam presentation slide. Alright. So now I give you reference 0.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next group.
Submit when? This is submit, sir.
Next Monday.
Monday. I tak ada